Many times I sit to puzzle. I do more of thinking than just talking. I'm a thinker by nature. Too much of thinking helps you to look into things deeply, look into life deeply, look into situations deeply. When I look into situations and circumstances in life, sometimes in the place of my meditation and thinking, I conclude that life sometimes cannot be fair on some people. I say cannot. That statement is strong, I know. Or I should put it this way: life is not fair to some people. When I say life is not fair, I know what I'm talking about. It will take another dimension of divinity or supernatural to help people to come out when life hits them hard. When people look into their deepest parts and asking questions, mind-probing questions, questions that would bring apprehension, agitation, worries, and anxiety. Questions that will make someone to query the existence of divinity at times. Questions that would come up to oneself: why me? Who did I offend? What did I do? Why is it that I have to be the one going through all of this? Passing through storms, passing through situations, passing through circumstances that makes it incomprehensible in thoughts, in meditation, in pondering. When I think like this and I choose my words intentionally like this, it makes me to conclude that sometimes God allows some things to happen to you for your mess to become your message, for your mess to become your mandate, for your mess to become your ministry. Sometimes divinity, God, allows some things to happen for others to learn. We become a guinea pig. And sometimes the devil just takes charge and wants you to just do things and make people feel so miserable, out of touch with divinity, out of touch with reality, out of touch with everything. Sometimes it's as bad as not being able to figure things out. How can you wake up at the beginning of your life as a child? So much dreams, so much visions. You saw yourself. There's no child. I do, in the Women College of Ministry, I do You and Your Vision. And I make people to realize that every child have a vision of what they're going to become, what they're going to be, what they would achieve. You see a child acting, I want to be a doctor. As a matter of fact, a female child will act mommy and back the door. We are born to have dreams. We are born to have visions. We are born to become what we are destined to become. It is in our nature to look at our future by birth and know that this is what I want to become. One young man just sat down and he had a dream. He saw stars. He said, my daddy's stars bowed, my mommy's stars bowed, my siblings' stars bowed. We are born to have a vision. Having to have a vision and kept your virginity for 19 solid years in this generation where virginity is nothing anymore. People just live recklessly. Where life has turned to something else because of the addictive society, because of being raised from dysfunctional home. A lot of things contribute to the fact that people lose it. They just lose it. For this person to make up her mind with her dreams, saying, I'm going to keep myself, I'm going to go to school, I want to achieve. I see greatness all around me. I want to become someone in life, being the first child. I want to set a pace. I'm a pace setter. I want to tell the world that you can be raised from the dungeon and end up in the palace. You can be raised by parents that are nobody, and at the end of the day, you become somebody. That was the dream. That was the vision. That was what she had in mind. That was the way she has wired herself growing up. But sometimes, such dreams are truncated. Such dreams becomes a mirage, becomes whatever, becomes is not possible. Because of life. Because of how people do things. Because of wickedness. Because of unfairness. Not just wickedness, unfairness. Because of life circumstances. Finances. Not being able to achieve your dreams because you are financially limited. Limitations truncate dreams. That is the story of my guest in the house today. She had a dream. She planned her life. Wanted to go to school. Wanted to become someone that the world would look at. Even if not the whole world. But in her world, of her siblings, of her family, I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to achieve. My dreams must come true. That was the plan. And she has to hustle for it. Because her father never believed that a child, not even a girl child, must make progress after they have made a little progress. She met me. She got married. And she discovered that her past, the things that happened to her, what life did to her, brought her to a place where she could not respond to her husband emotionally, sexually, psychologically, so reluctant in life. And she began to wonder. She did everything she could do to just bring life to her home. Married to a man that loved her to death. I'm intentional. I know him. He actually allowed this podcast. A man that has made up his mind, telling himself, even if you show your face, it doesn't matter. But for me, intentionally, I choose no name, no face, no identity. For you to know the kind of a man that she's married to. Some married men like Bozo, but this guy is a Boaz. Is a man that would know your past, follow you through, wishing to take you to your future. That is the kind of a man she got married to. But there's so much pain. There's so much unhealed wounds. And I just reached out to her. And for the first time in her life, she became vulnerable. She chose to pour it somewhere to avoid dying on the inside. She's done what she could do. She's faith-based. She believes in God. She prays. But she couldn't get it off her chest. She couldn't handle it. And she said, well, let me trust this woman. Let me open up my heart. When I listened to her, I cried. I'm still holding my emotions today, but I can't tell you what will happen as we go on this episode. I listened to her and I picture what she went through in the hand of vampires, predators, people that are just wicked. They chose to be wicked. Unempathetic, men that are not sympathetic, men that would not sit down to ask questions. Now, if I have a child, would I do it to my daughter? Would I do it to my son? Would I allow somebody to prey on my child like this? Because a lot of people sit down, they plan evil, they invent evil. They never thought it could happen to them, or what goes round could come round, or their kids can be a victim of a similar situation. Why would you think in your life that destroying another person's life, destroying another person's children, messing up the life of another child will not come back to you and your children? I don't know how people think. I don't know how people fix things in their head, thinking what goes round will not come round. After the flood, God declared, no more general punishment. I set a law in motion. You sow it, you reap it. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. I'm so much pained. I'm in awe. I'm somewhere now that you cannot even comprehend because of this story. When she spoke to me, I told her, I said, come on board. You did not orchestrate this evil. You didn't plan it. Life was the one that hits you like this. Come out here and let's talk about it. Your mess can become your message. Your mess can become your mandate. Other young ladies, everyone all over the world will want to take something home from your story. Your mess is your message. Your past is your property. Sell it. Take it to the world. Take it to the street. Sell your past is your property. It's not somebody's reality. It's your story, it's your reality. It's your life. And she agreed. And I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. I felt on top of the world when she consented to be part of the Heals Today. She's on a journey to recovery. Because here, we mend lives. We heal wounded soul. We become a wounded healer. Of course, that's who I am too. Probably in the course of this, my episode with her, you will hear a little of my story for you to know that sometimes the devil might plan it for evil. Life might plan it for evil. Circumstances might plan it for evil. But there's a way that God turns things around. When she agreed to come on this program on the Hills, I said, welcome, baby girl. Let's go for it. Let's show them. Let's tell the world that wickedness is still under the sun. You know, sometimes when I'm relating with people, honestly, I have this mindset. I wish you should have a zip. God should put a zip in people's tummy. So when I want to relate with you, I'll open up the zip and see if you don't have cobra, deadly animals inside you before I relate with you. But life, human being, they are not like pots that you can open before you start relating with them. I wish she knew that she was on a journey with a wicked soul, with a vampire. I've said a lot. I've made you to really feel like, say it, I want to hear it. This is an opportunity for you to listen to my guest. Of course, no name, no face, no identity. I need to cover this so that she can just say everything. We are talking about everything. We are saying everything. We are bringing everything out. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is covered. Because your mess is your message. This is a mess. This is a message. This is the reality of what she went through from age 19. The story is deep and it's intriguing and it is interesting. Hey, my guest is in the house. Thank you so much for coming. And she's so beautiful. I wish you could see her face. But of course, no face, no name, no identity. Her husband is eating her up. She's a pretty girl. Natural. Thank you
very much, Ma, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Because I would say this opportunity is my first time of having that boldness to face camera to say something about myself. I'm a very shy person. Well, life eats everyone in a hard way, in a different way, and it's nothing no one planned for, and it's not even part of anyone's plan that I want to experience bad thing. We all plan good things for ourselves, but when life comes, there's nothing we can do about it. After my secondary school, my work, after my exam, I had to travel to my mom's elder sister place, at least for a change of environment due to my area. So I had to change environment. Tired of living from that place, from my nursery school to my secondary level. So I traveled. That was the place I learned my catering work. So after my catering program, I came back to my parents' house. After that, I decided to proceed for my higher education level. I proceed for an NCE program. I got admission, but due to my parents' background, we are not really rich, and my dad is someone that once you finish your secondary school, that's all. You are left to yourself. Anything you want to do with your life is less concerned. But my mom, she's a very strong woman, and she wants the best for all her children. So she was the only one we had. Her business is not really growing, it's not really going very well, but she's into some different cooperatives like that, in which she will have to collect money to do things for us, for herself and the family. So after I get my admission, I had to pay acceptance fee, school fee. She rallied around for the acceptance payment. I paid, I started schooling. After my catering craft learning, I decided to further my education. But since my dad is one kind of a person that doesn't believe in sending children to higher institution, after your secondary school, you are left to yourself. So I had to support my mom because she's the only one we have that do everything. So I was invited by someone for a catering work, like a server, somewhere around my town, or be my city rather. I went for the catering work at ICC. I met these people. They came from Lagos actually, so they need more hands in Ibadan here. So the person who told me knew about the skill I learned. So she told me about it and I went. So after we walked, when we were about to depart, the manager of those people that came saw me and was like, he liked the way I walk. That did I learn it from somewhere? I said yes, that I learned about it. He said okay, that he would like to work with me more often. I said no problem, since the only option is that I shall want to raise money, so I have to work. So I said no problem. Then I don't have a phone. I had to give him my mom's phone number, that if anytime he wants to reach out to me, he can call my mom. That once I get home that evening, I will explain to my mom. And he said okay. So as I got home, I told my mom about it. He said it's fine, that no problem, that once he calls, that she will pick. So on a Wednesday, the man called my mom explained to her about a work service at a town at Owo, after Ondo State. I've never been to that place before. So when he told my mom, he even sent transport fare for my journey. When my mom got home that night, she explained to me. I was a little bit scared because the place is kind of far and it's a town I've never heard about before. I've not been there. So I felt a little bit reluctant, like the place is far, but I don't have a choice. So the following day, I felt a little bit scared. Like I was not myself. Like I don't feel like even going to the place again.
Can I say this to all our listeners? Sometimes you follow your heart. Everyone has the word called intuition, perception. The moment you are not feeling the vibes to do something and your body is telling you there's danger, the alarm is clicking and shouting and screaming, check it. I wish she could reverse what has happened and just listen to that feelings. Go ahead with your story.
Thank you, ma. The following day, I was feeling so scared, more scared. I explained to my mom that that place I don't want to go. It's far. I was giving flimsy excuses just for her to say, okay, you are not going. But she told me that if I say I didn't go, how am I going to raise money? As I said, I want to go to school, I want to do this, I want to do that. So she went to work, she went to her shop, and there was this person that I do talk to. He's like an uncle, he's my uncle, like a younger brother to my mom. He's the only one I used to talk to after I talked to my mom. So in the evening when he came also, I explained to him. He also spoke like my mom, we need the money. I said, okay. So on Friday, I had to be on my way to go to the place because the event was on a Saturday, but we had to be there before the day. I went, I got to the park. I even felt like maybe I should just run away from the park, just go somewhere else, but I don't have that kind of a mind. I don't have it. So I had to proceed with the journey. Even in the vehicle, I was not really feeling myself. But their words keep coming to my head. We need the money. Okay? I brace up myself. I need the money. If it's just for me to go and work and come back. No, there's nothing. Let's go. I prayed. God protect me. Oh. I don't want any bad thing to happen to me. So I got to the place. I met every one of them that came from Lagos because the man actually came with some other people from Lagos that do work with him from Lagos. So we got there, we look out for hotel. They say the hotels are booked. That is because it's a weekend. And they have a festival thing they do. That all of their indigene we have to be in their village. So all hotels are booked. Couldn't get a hotel. So we had to sleep in the hall, inside the hall of the event. So when it's night, everyone gets ready to sleep. We've all lay down on the floor, we spread clothes. Everyone has lied down to sleep. But suddenly, the two ladies that came with them say they just stood up. They said they want to go and get something to eat.
What time of the day is that?
That was around 10 p.m.
They said they wanted to go and eat. Wow.
Later, the other two guys too stood up that they want to follow them as well. I stood up, I sit. What's happening? So as they were going, I just have the feeling that maybe I should just go outside and go and wait for them till every one of them come back. As I was about moving, the light in the hall just suddenly goes off. And I didn't took my phone because my mom actually gave me her own phone so that she can reach me. I didn't took the phone from where I lie down. So I had to retrace my step back to take the phone to put on a torchlight so I can find my way out. But suddenly two men gripped me. I was still struggling. What's happening? Who are you? Who's... So I heard the voice of the manager, which I'm very familiar with because I've worked with him before. Before this other work. I heard his voice. He was telling me, calm down. I said, uncle, me, this place is dark. The man said,
He said, uncle, I don't know who is holding me. So he was not part of the people that held you.
He was not part. The other two guys that held me laid me on the floor. One was holding my hands up, the other one was holding my leg.
Wow.
So then the man came on top of me. He was like, hey, he liked me. He wants us to be dating.
Excuse me. The man came on top of you after allowing two other men. One held your hand down, the other one held your leg. And in that posture, he was now saying he liked you.
He wants us to be dating. I said, if you want to ask a girl how,
so dating comes with rape. Must dating come with rape? Sex must be consensual. So is that the right thing to do? Is that how to live? Is that how to tell a girl? I said it before. I said, think about it. If this is your daughter, some of you have done some things that is killing your wife, your children today. You have sowed a seed. How on earth could you tell a girl that you liked her, you want her to be dating you, and the next thing is to look for men to gang rape her, held her hands and held her legs?
So as I was lying down, I was begging him that he should please, that okay, we can talk about it. The man is not even answering. He was like, you need to do this. He liked me. Then don't I know I'm a beautiful girl? I said, I know. I was begging, please don't do this to me. I even had to tell him that I'm a virgin. Maybe he would be scared that, and just stop.
Were you a virgin?
Yes, ma'am.
You were a virgin at 19. How did you do it? What happened? Is there any special thing about keeping your virginity at the time? Because you were saying that you wanted to change an environment at the beginning of this conversation. It means that you actually had to change environment. Why did you say that? That you wanted to change environment. Did you grow up in an environment that is just tiring or something? Can I hear a little bit of your background, where you grew up from?
I grew up in a notorious area. If I mention the name, people who are watching will be familiar with the place. That every child born and brought up in that area, they believe they are a bad child or bad children. But to the help of my mom and to the help of God, we are really different. We are very, very different.
So you chose to be different despite the fact that you were raised from a very dysfunctional environment. You just told yourself, and your mom made that effort to be proud of you in a special way by making you different. Different how?
Different in the sense that we don't really have much friends. We stay indoor. Because my mom is a very strict person. We stay indoor. And then he taught us in a way of the Lord. He really brought us up in the way of the Lord. And every girl child in that area, they are known to be, is either they end up being a prostitute or end up getting pregnant during their secondary school, some in GS3, some in SS class, some will not even have the opportunity to write their WAEC before they get pregnant. But our own case is not like that. None of us got pregnant after secondary
I mean, you are
school.
19. It means that you've left secondary school. You were
Yes.
trusting to go to the higher institution. You've kept yourself for 19 good years. Wow.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As the man was struggling with me, I was struggling with him. I even told him I'm a virgin. Maybe he would just stop and look at me and be like, oh, let me stop. But he didn't. He's not even listening to me. Then he forced himself to do it. I felt a very sharp pain that runs through my brain. I didn't even know where I had to bite him on the chest.
You actually beat him on the chest.
Yeah. So before he just stand up. So I had to stand up and go to the bathroom to clean up myself. So it was when they put on the light back, and you saw a stain, a blood stain on his singlet. It was like,
so he was the one. He actually broke your virginity. No wonder. Under pressure. Now the guys, I mean, I'm holding my emotions actually. The other guys that held you down on your neck, with your hand at the back, with your legs, holding your legs and your hand, what were they doing? Who are they? Were you able to get who they were?
No, the two guys, they were working for the man, actually. So to me, it looks like a plan work between them. But
now the point is, we have brothels everywhere. If actually he wanted to release himself, as it were, the kind of wicked plan to tell other people to hold another life down, a girl, child, to rape her, as it were, and not minding someone saying, oh, boss, even if it's your father, your boss, please, I'm not going to be involved. Do you know that those two guys are not innocent, cannot be innocent, because they consented to sexually molest an innocent life, agreeing to do evil? Some of you are saying, it's the boss, it's the person that is paying them. Would you, because of money, sell your destiny, sell your future, sell your conscience? They did, those two guys. Probably you have had to consent to compromise your standard, your belief, because you want to please someone, because you want to belong. Just know that as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. And if you have done that, you know quite all right that don't be, sometimes when I look into the scriptures, I'm faith-based, and when the Bible says hand can be joined together, no sinner will go unpunished. You know what that means? You can do the prayer of agreement, two of you. If two shall agree as touching anything, even if you join your hands together, as if two shall agree as touching anything, no sinner will go unpunished. That's clear. Apart from the person that, I can't imagine what was going on in the head of that person, but getting involved in another wicked act, that is really, really traumatizing for me. And I'm not finding it easy at all. I've not been able to get myself. We still have a long journey to go. It's a long journey. I'll be right back after this break. Thank you for watching. A lot of people send me messages, Mommy, my house is on fire. I don't know what to do. My marriage is killing me. I'm struggling. My wife is making me miserable. My husband is not getting what I'm saying. I'm just confused. The best decision you can make in your life, after the decision of going to school is the decision of getting into marriage relationship. Your marriage is everything about your life. I appreciate you for making an effort to wanting to attend the school of marriage. You cannot afford to miss this opportunity. It's just once in a year and it's once in lifetime. And let me say something to you. Knowledge is might. It takes understanding to stand. It takes understanding to be outstanding. You can't miss this opportunity for anything in your life, except you have made up your mind not to be married, and that is fine. But if you're looking forward to having a life that is called a home, a relationship, then just know that the School of Marriage is the best institution to navigate this journey of relationship. Don't forget, your health is your marriage. Your wealth is your marriage. Your happiness is your marriage. When you are old and frail, think about your mom and your dad. You came from a home. Are you happy with what you are seeing with your parents? Why would you know better to live better? Looking forward to having you in class. Register now, and let's get started. We are resuming on the 10th of August 2024. No waste of time, no waste of investment. You are investing in your life, you are investing in your future, you are investing in your destiny. At the end of the day, you'll be glad you attended this institution. And guess what? Nobody can pay me for this service. It's a privilege for you to have access to this program. Thank you. Looking forward to having you in class. Welcome back. This story is intriguing. I have been able to put myself together. I don't want to get emotional, but the way I'm looking at it, there's no way it's actually getting to me. Living in a wicked world where people just truncate people's dreams and vision. When I bring programs like this on the hills, I don't bring people to come and share their stories and I'm wowing you, wow. No. I use every episode as a case note. And that's why I intentionally said, if you conspire to hurt a soul, something is coming back to you. Unfortunately, we are living in a generation that the father had eaten grapes. The teeth of the children are being set at edge. Somebody has raped someone, conspired to molest someone, gang raped someone, and before you know it, the children that are innocent, they become the victim of their circumstances. Please take note. Don't join hands with evil people to destroy people's life. The consequences will come, except you intentionally repent and restitute. I'm not talking about repentance alone. The word restitution has been kind of taken for granted. People just felt, what do I mean by restitution? If you can make up for it, please do. If you can apologize, please apologize. If you can make that person to get over the scars, please do it. It's for someone. It's not for everybody. For someone is listening to this now, you know you have really hurt a soul, an innocent soul. You rape the person, you actually rape and murder the person. Restitute. Look for a way to reach out to us. You need to release that burden from your heart, because you cannot go to grave with that kind of burden. No peace for the wicked. That's the scriptures. Welcome, my guest. Thank you so much for being vulnerable, just opening your heart to the world. And it's very sad, but one of those things. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ma, for having me. So, moving on, after the scenario of the night, I had to return back to Ibadan the following day. I couldn't even do the work I traveled to do. I had to come back. So as I got home, my mom took me to the hospital, and we explained to the doctor that it was a rape issue. I was given an injection and a drug, at least to flush out even if maybe the man release or not, but at least for prevention purpose. So I used it, though I bleed for days, but it later stopped. So after that, I got admission.
Wait. Because I deal with trauma, I deal with pain, I deal with things that people cover, mask. After that episode, what was going on your head? How did you react? What happened? Were you just, I mean, they flushed it, yes. You know, a lady had a fracture. She had an accident. She had a fracture. The physical wound was healed, but the emotional wound was not healed. People only take care of, okay, you've gone to the hospital, they flushed it, your menstruation came, and you bled for some time, the bleeding stopped. Do you want to tell me that's the end? How were you feeling? What was your reaction? Were you normal? I need to hear that feelings. I need to hear it. I didn't say I want to see it. I want to hear the way you felt after the rape, gang rape experience. Because as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't the only person that raped you. He actually the one that penetrated and broke your virginity. But those two guys too were in the picture. So you were gang raped. How did you manage yourself after the messages are stopped? I need to get that feeling.
Though since then, I was not myself. So I started keeping more things to myself. I just prefer to be alone. Don't want to associate with people. Then I just felt like maybe there could have been a way to avert it, not to have happened.
So you shut down. You know, we react to pain differently. Some, when they are raped, they cry back to back, they sulk, they get depressed. But for her, because of her temperament, she just kept quiet and she shut down completely, going through the stages of grief. And of course, she told herself, I wish this is just a dream. Let me just wake up. I wish this is averted. So she started on a guilt mode, depression, anger, just bargaining, thinking, why, how? Blaming herself. Can I say this to everyone that has experienced a similar situation? It is not your fault. It is the fault of the rapist. It is not your fault. Your feelings are validated. It is not your fault. It was evil that was done to you. It is not your fault. It is the fault of life that sometimes comes to us without even planning for it. Listen, you need help. Bottling up, keeping quiet, throwing tantrums, reacting will not heal you. It's not every wound that heals by itself. It's not every wound that heals by itself. You need someone to help you to heal that wound that came with the shock of the unexpected. Go ahead with your story.
Thank you, ma'am. So after the hospital experience, few weeks after I got admission, so I felt a little bit relieved that at least I will just leave the environment, be myself where I am, where no family will be, where I won't have any contact with any of them. Like, I just want to be alone. So I was a little bit relieved. I went to school, packed my things, go home. So I paid for my acceptance fee. So after some months, let me say maybe 5 or 6 months later, there are some of my hostel mates that They were the one who confronted my roommate that did she know that her roommate is pregnant. My roommate was like, my roommate is not pregnant though. How?
Are you telling me that the rape experience got you pregnant?
Yes,
Were you
because
not seeing your
after
period? What
that,
happened?
I was seeing my period.
Hey,
Like I was fine normally. I don't have any
symptoms.
no symptoms, no vomiting. Because
Oh
of
yeah.
recent, I just read about pregnancy symptoms. So then I didn't see any symptoms. I was having my menstrual flow every month. So my roommate was also surprised because I'm always acting like a normal human being. I could sleep on my tummy to read. So there was no any sign of me being pregnant. But those ladies who told her, they were science students actually. So maybe there was something they saw to be for them to come to the conclusion like that. So my roommate had to come and call me. We both went to go and meet those ladies. The ladies told also said it to my face that I am pregnant. I said no, I am not pregnant. He said okay, that's okay for confirmation. Will I do a pregnancy test? I said okay, no problem. Just for everyone to be
Sincerely, you
fine.
didn't know you were pregnant
I don't know.
after that rape experience. How many months after?
6 months.
Hey, 6 months after being raped, you were seeing your menstruation, you were living a normal life, you are back in school. It was
So they had to go and call a nurse who did the test with the pregnancy kit, and they came out with 2 double red.
wow.
The nurse was like, these 2 double reds indicate 5 to 6 months. I said, how? He said, this is what I'm saying. They even asked me to open my clothes. My stomach is as normal as it is. So how on earth am I pregnant? So I would just say after that period that it was detected, I stopped seeing my menstrual flow. I started feeling my legs swelling up.
You were almost to term. That's 7 months pregnancy.
I started feeling my legs swelling. Then my stomach started protruding.
Wow.
So a week to my exam, I had to go and meet the nurse. That is there a way I can abort the pregnancy just for it to be flushed out?
You wanted to abort a 7-month-old pregnancy. Wow.
So the nurse asked me if I'm ready to do it. I said yes, because I don't want another phase of that experience. So I made up my mind that I was going to abort it. So I finished my exam on Friday, in which I prepared my mind on going the following day, which is Saturday. On that Friday, my mom do go to mountain for video. So on Saturday morning, my mom came as early as 6 a.m. to my school. I was actually surprised. What's this woman doing here? She was like, her pastor said she should come, pack my things, both of us should come back. She asked me, am I done with my exam? I said yes. So that following day, I was so hungry inside. Why is it today of all day will this woman have to come? Because since I got admission into that school, my mom never come looking for me in my school. That let me come and see how this is. No. The only thing, if you just need money, you call her. She will rally around for the money, send the money to you for your upkeep. But that day I was so surprised. So I was packing my bag. I was crying inside. Like, why today of all day? But I still put my mind together that at least if I resume back to school, I'll be able to do what I want to do. So I followed her. We both went back to the mountain. So we met the pastor. We sat down. The pastor was telling my mom that did she know that I am pregnant. My mom was shocked. Said, pregnant? How? My mom had to face me, ask me, are you pregnant? I said no. The pastor said I should say the truth. I don't need to lie. That he already saw it and already know about it, even with what I wanted to go and do. That was why he had to tell my mom to come and pick me up. So my mom still asking me, and I had to spill it out to her that even though I was not the one that find out that this is how it goes and how everything goes. So my mom still asked me, what is the thing you wanted to go and do? I couldn't say it. But the pastor told her that I was going to abort the pregnancy that day. My mom cried. She cried. She could not even say anything. Later on, the pastor just told my mom to be watchful of me so I won't do anything bad to myself. So for her not to take me back home to my area because of the humiliation, the disgrace, and all that. So I can't go back home. So my mom had to take me to my uncle's place. So I had to stay with my uncle's house till I gave birth, just to save any form of embarrassment and humiliation.
Now, the point I want to make here, which I was thinking on how to put it, is your child got pregnant through rape and molestation. It wasn't consensual. It wasn't that she was a prostitute or she was loose. At 19, she kept her virginity, and you know that this is not what is planned or what you planned for. Please, let that child feel loved. Don't say because of shame. Recently, somebody sent me a mail. Hey, my daughter is pregnant and we're church people, we're elders. I mean, I'm ashamed because of what people will say. Let them say. Let your child feel the love of a parent in the midst of their storm. If you relate with me when I've achieved, you are a user. It is when I'm struggling, I'm trying to find my footings, I'm trying to become somebody, and you are part of my life, then I know that you genuinely love me. If that is not the case, the question is it the shame that they are going to experience or what people will say that matters to the life of an innocent girl that you encourage to go and hustle? Which one is more important? Parents, whatever happens to your kids, let them know that the relationship may be fractured, but it's not broken. Let it be clear to them that whatever happens, we are in it together. I've seen parents that have lost their kids permanently to the fact that they refuse to allow those children to heal with them in the shame, in the embarrassment, in the blackmail, in the gossip. And most of the time, the place where you are shamed is the place where you are glorified. I've observed that multiple times, even in my private life, where you felt that's the end, the beauty will just come out of the ashes. Thank you for sharing this. Go ahead with your story.
So along the line, I started living with my uncle. I had to stay with him. Those periods are so traumatizing too, because my uncle do tell me something that always get me more angry, like telling me that he need to have sex with me so I
What?
can.
Your uncle said he wanted to have sex with you. For what?
So I can have a safe delivery
Hey!
of the child.
Scary.
As someone that is hungry, even with myself, I had to tell him that even if I have to give birth to the child and I have to die, so be it. That he should just leave me. He should not help
Your
me.
uncle said he wants to add to your pain to still be having sex with you so that you can have safe delivery, and he was the one that encouraged you to go to hustle.
Yes.
And he's your mom's brother.
My mom's younger brother. So I refused. Though he do say those words a lot of time. And me too, I always refuse it. That I can't do it. Even if it's for me to die, delivering the child, no problem. I will.
Hey!
I wanted to. Just because I don't want to continue in that experience. Most time I do tap myself, pinch myself, maybe I'm dreaming. Just to wake up from the dream, because it's so overwhelming and it's a very tough time for me. As God will have it, at 9 months, I gave birth to the child. No operation, just a normal delivery.
You know what? It's so amazing. When we started this process, having to interview her, we were crying, she was crying, everywhere the tension was much. But because she's gone through recovery classes, through therapy sessions, we could see wholeness, we could see beauty. It's so amazing. You know, I mean, it's obvious that when you are wounded and you don't heal your wound, it keeps smelling. The stench is everywhere. We were all tensed up that day. I was crying, she was crying. I was like, what's it? Everybody in the studio were crying. But today, because she was healed, we could bring out this mess in a healthy way, and in a way that at the end of the day, she has become, or she's becoming, because healing is like peeling an onion. That's why we do multiple sessions. But I am so excited that this life has found life. Yes, go ahead with your story. You can actually watch the clips of the last episode where we were having the first interview that she was crying. It's so amazing.
Life has a way of dealing with humans. So I'm also a circumstance of life. When she got clock a year old, my mom had to come and pick her up, take her home. Then she told me that I would still have to stay with my uncle.
Hey! Did you tell your... Let me talk about this. Don't mind my tears. It's part of my emotions. I do this to teach and to help people. I couldn't continue. It's not fair. Let me put it this way. Sometimes when you are being sexually assaulted, you can't even tell anybody. You can't share it with your parents because they will not believe you. That's the pain. Because I felt your mom should not tell you to go back to that abuse. You would have all opened your mouth. And I'm sure that when people go through that, the bad part of this episode is the fact that you still have to go back. Now, she was told to go back because of family shame. Please, if your child gets pregnant, and even if it's a teenage pregnancy or anything that happens to her, please don't push her back to the predator. Don't push her back to the abuse. Because sometimes Some will say the person that pregnant you should go and stay with the person. The person that did not ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, did not do wedding, did not do anything, and you now wanting to just to take back your pride. Parents, hear me.
So I had to get a teaching job. Started teaching to take care of our upkeep, myself, get some things and all that. So as the child clocks a year, my mom had to come and take her. So she came to take her home. So I also thought I would be going with her, but she told me I had to still stay with my uncle, maybe till after 6 months, just for people not to notice.
What is your business with people? I don't understand why people don't understand being able to identify with people in the midst of their storm. You took the baby from your daughter that has been batteredly, shatteredly molested. And you still did you tell your mom that your uncle was saying that he had to keep having sex with you to be able to have safe delivery? Could you open your mouth to tell your mom that this uncle that I'm staying with, that I just put to bed, is mounting pressure on me for sex? Did you tell her at all?
I didn't tell her, because I thought within me maybe she's not going to believe me because of who my uncle is. No, my uncle is like her younger brother. So I don't think she can ever believe me that her younger brother can do such a thing. I don't think so.
That should be a topic for another episode. Most people that sleeps with your daughter, that your sons, I didn't say daughter alone, because boys too are being molested. Those people that sleeps with your daughter, play with the private part of your son, they're in the neighborhood, they are nieces, cousins. People experience incest everywhere. This is a blood brother, for crying out loud. Now, you couldn't even open up to tell your parents. How hard can you be as a mother or a father that your child will be going through stuff and your child will not be comfortable enough to tell you that, Dad, Mom, Uncle is doing this to me, and you are shutting that child down, or you are telling the child, or the child has an impression that you will not believe? To me, that's not fair. I don't want to use the word wickedness, but it's actually wickedness. In parenting, when your kids cannot confidently say, Mom, Dad, Uncle or auntie or niece or cousin is doing this to me, please don't be wicked and careless as parents. Open your heart. Even if the child is rude and stubborn and is misbehaving, most of the time those children that you notice that they are not doing well, they are stubborn, they are misbehaving, they are aggressive, they are violent, is a product of a kind of assault or abuse that has happened to them, but they can't tell you because they are scared. Never ever raise your kids to be afraid of you. I know to some it is late, but to some they can quickly change. Yes, go ahead.
So when she told me I still have to stay with my uncle, I feel very sad. Like, is this how I'm going to continue my life? So since I see that that's the case, anytime my uncle is on night duty, I'll sleep in the room. But whenever he's not on night,
So you were actually sharing one room?
yeah, he sleeps
No
in
wonder.
a room apartment. So whenever he's not on night duty, I have to go and sleep with a neighbor. She's a lady. She's a UI student then. So I have to go and sleep in our whole room. So that is how I shuffle myself all through the journey before I later had to move back to my parents' house. So after moving back home, I got another job because I had to resign from the teaching job. It's far from my parents' place. So I got another job to do. So since then, all my routine was just to wake up, take care of the child, take her to school, go to work, come back home. I don't relate with people. Once I'm back, I just stay indoor, be myself, and that has been my everyday routine till
Hey, there's a part
another.
of your life that excites me, that makes me to know that you can go wrong sometimes, but you may not go wrong. God can take you round, He may not take you wrong. Sometimes God can choose to make you live a life that He is the one that wrote the script. Honestly, the part of your life that I want to unravel now made me to know that God is a story changer. God is a rewriter of history. God can only take you round, but He doesn't have to take you wrong. There are lots of people that went round in circle, but they are alive to share their story. I remember several years ago, I was going through a storm. Lot of storms. This is my life. My story will come up one of these days. You'll be shocked. And a lot of people were asking after the storm was over, they said, how did you survive it? I said, well, I was living a script. I just had an understanding that I can't be going through all of this just for the fun of it. It means that I'm living a script. Obviously, hey, am I the only one? Is she the only one? Why? It's too much now for one person. You want somebody to die? And I remembered, I said to myself, I must be living a script. There's always a script that is scripted about every one of us. When you are living your script, just know that you are an actor in that movie. It's not going to end in tragedy. For her case, in her situation, this new chapter that I'm talking about, hey, she found love. I'm not talking about ordinary love. She found her soulmate, somebody that took her as the apple of his eyes. I'm not joking, and I'm not exaggerating. She found a friend. She found a love. She found a father for her daughter. Let me ask you a question. Well, I can't go back to that without taking you back here. The person that invited you for the event, that raped you, disvirgined you, does he know that you got pregnant? Did you reach out to him? In any way, was there any flashback before saying now that your daughter has a father in your husband? And I'm still going to the story of your husband, but did you go back to the person and did he know that he had a child with you? Did he know that he raped you? And he knew he raped you anyway. He knew he disvirgined you. Was there any reconnection to the person that raped you?
Well, when my mom found out I was pregnant, she called him. It was my mom's phone number I gave to him to contact me through when I don't have a phone then. So my mom called him and told him that what he did, that I'm pregnant. He denied. He said my mom should sit me down and ask me if I don't sleep with another person. He was even claiming that did she have a boyfriend and all that. She disagreed. She said, since when the issue happened, that my mom is just calling now that I'm pregnant. He said no, that he's not responsible for the pregnancy. So even after the child was born, my mom had to snap the picture, send to him. He didn't turn up.
He refused to take responsibility. Hey! Continue. So much to talk about, so much to think about.
So after I started working, I made up my mind that I'll still go to school. Even though I know I won't be able to go for a full-time program, so I have to register for a part-time program at the UI DLC program. So I was working and also going to school in UI. So along the line, I met my husband in my areas as well. He was working at a studio not far from our house. So even though me, I don't I don't really dress or put up myself to impress anybody because I already made up my mind that I'm not going to get married. That I will just be a single mother, work and make my achievements. But as God will have it, I can't explain how it happens actually because our love story was, I'll just say it's a miraculous thing because I can't explain how it happens. So we met, we started talking as friends, and after that, we get deeper. Even the day he asked me out, I didn't reply him that day. I have to go home. I go and think about it. Am I really ready for this? Did I really want to do this? Because most time I don't have a change of mind. It's better to stay single. Most time I'll be like, am I not going to get married? So those words, I don't know how to place it. The following day, I accept his proposal. So, and that was how everything went on and on. So I introduced him to my mom, though it was someone my mom liked right from time since they used to sing and they really get used to each other very well. So my mom did not have issue with him. Even his mom, I don't have issue with his mom. Even with his mom knowing that I already have a child, his mom accepted with no barriers. Then after that, they picked a day for introduction. We did our introduction. After our introduction, that was when we started having this sex issue of a thing that is not really amusing. Because at the back of my mind, I do feel bad, like I'm doing a bad thing to him.
Because you were actually, because of the trauma and everything you went through, and the rape and the molestation, being molested by a stranger, being gang raped, now coming to a brother of yours, your uncle as it were, trying to molest you, sex has become like a taboo, it's like a problem to you. So in marriage, of course, there are different types of marriage. We have traditional wedding, introduction, depending on how much you are buoyant, you can choose to marry, just introduction and everything, and everybody knows you are married. So sex became an issue. You were not giving out yourself sexually to your husband, because I knew that was one of the things that brought you to me when your husband was bitterly complaining that you don't want to. I mean, it was becoming explain. I need to hear that part of, for people to know that when people are raped, some become sexually active. They became promiscuous. They are all over the place, sleeping around. Some will shut down completely to whatever it is that is called sex. So we react to pain and trauma differently. For some that have experienced, being raped or being molested, they can become like a whore, as it were. And some that have experienced rape can shut down completely, and they will see sex as pain, they will see sex as trouble. The act of having sex with their spouses becomes a memory of trauma to them. And that was exactly what she was trying to say. So go ahead and say what you're saying in that light.
So we started having issue with sex. I explained to my mom about it. My mom asked me to take so many concoction, okra and water. So disgusting, but I had to, because I don't want to be a pain to someone, especially to someone I love. I don't like being a pain to them. So I had to use it. It did not work. Anything did not change. So I browsed online, searched for maybe drugs to use to get a libido. But I got a particular drug. So I tried to get it from a pharmacy. They had to tell me it has to come from a doctor's prescription before they can sell it for me. So there's no other thing I can do. So I just hope. Then I had to make sex like an everyday chores for me. Like I have to put it on my mind. Like I have to think about it so that when it is time, I will be in that position to be able to do it, even though I don't know if it's enjoyable or pleasurable. But I just have to do it just for him. So it turns to a chore for me, like thinking of it every time, putting it on my mind. So there was this day we had the issue again that day. He got really angry that day. And I don't want it to continue. That was why I had to reach out. Like, let me just speak out. Let me seek for help. Because most time, me talking out used to look somehow to me. Because I think in a lot of diverse ways. Like, what if I tell this person? And later on, this person had to use it to abuse me.
Now it's not an abuse, it's your message. It's your mess. Nobody's going to abuse you. And when they abuse you, tell them your past is your property, you can sell it. You know, that's one thing that have come to realize with people that have been through stuff. They feel the shame. Hear me. The only thing that is not redeemable is death. Shame is redeemable. Don't ever let anyone make you feel sharing your burden, talking about your challenge. Maybe you are deep into pornography, you are into prostitution. It's a life you never wanted, or you have just experienced some traumatic issues that you felt nobody will understand. Help is always available. That's what we do. We heal. And let me tell you a secret today. Any wound that is not healed will keep decaying. But please, don't cry before someone that will not say sorry to you. Don't go and open your life to everybody for pity party. No. Be constructive, be intentional. Go to a professional, someone that knows his onions, knows what they are doing, and let them help you out. I'm telling you, watch the clips of the past recordings and you saw the drama, the anger, the tears. Look at her. Just few sessions of therapy, she's bounced back. She's more beautiful. I don't want to ask about their sexual life, but I mean, the way I've seen the two of them, husband and wife today, it is obvious that therapy works, healing works, people heal. Apart from your husband, what was his attitude towards your daughter? Because I knew that in our last recording, you said something that your husband so much loved your daughter, and your daughter was just treating him as if he was his dad. That is mercy. Can we just talk a little bit about that, how your husband took your daughter? Because I remember he told me that this is my daughter. I wish I could bring your husband. Maybe one of these days I'll just flash back and bring him. Yes, go ahead.
Before we started dating, he and my daughter, they were the first people that first got really close. Like, they play a lot. There was a day I was even asking her, how do you know that uncle? Only you do not know him. He's working there. I said, eh? So you've already know where this person is working. So they play a lot. They are so fond of each other. And that was it.
Wow. Yes, go ahead, continue. I needed that part of the information for people to know that if God is going to rewrite your history, if he's going to change your story, he would bring someone that will love you with your baggages, with your burden. And the only thing that could have caused a major problem in that marriage was sex. Of course, because of her pain and her background, the things that happened to her, she was able to seek help. And now they're good to go. Yes, there's a dimension of success story that, you had a dream. And if you are watching this episode, we have a lot of people that are under serious financial pressure that make them to start living a life or find themselves in a very, very unfortunate situation. If there was no financial pressure, if there were enough finances, she wouldn't have taken that route. She would have just finished school, go to, finish her primary school, secondary school, and proceed to the higher institution. Unfortunately, finances was an issue. If you are privileged to be comfortable, you can reach out to us. We have so many of them that have been raped, molested. I even have one. If you listen to a few of our episodes, you'll remember a particular girl that her daddy said somebody should help, and the next thing is, I must sleep with you before I help you. So many of them are with us that we help. You can join us to help those people that life has beaten hard, and they don't really want to compromise. They don't want to sleep around. They want to go to school. They want to achieve. They want to become what they are destined to become. But the people they are reaching out to for help, they were trying to profit by their problems. They are taking advantage of their vulnerability, and they're trying to sleep with them in the name of, I want to help you. If you are privileged to be comfortable financially, reach out to us. You will help us to take care of a girl child. You will help us to take care of a boy child that adults in the neighborhood are saying, don't worry, I'll send you to school. You're a young man, be my gigolo. And they are choosing not to do that. Please reach out to us. You are going to be saving a life. You're going to be saving a generation. You're going to be helping someone to become the better version of themselves without selling their body. Yes, that side of you that just boom, bounce back. You said you were in school. I need to hear that before we close.
I was in UI, studying philosophy of public management. So right now I'm in 200 level.
Wow. I'm so happy, so happy. Oh. Meaning that when life hits you, don't head it. When life hits you, don't chest it. You can walk over it. With all of this, almost 2 hours discussion, guess what? She's married. She's back in school. Her dream is coming true. Honestly, I wish people don't do evil. I wish things like this don't happen. I wish people don't experience this. But if you have, that's not the end of life. Tough time will never last. Tough people will do. Challenges are for champions. Every star has a scar. We only turn it to stars. Have you seen anybody that is called a general that does not have the sign of bullets? Whatever happens, just be sure and tell yourself, I'm coming out. I remember several years ago, in the midst of heavy, stormy situations. You see, I'm choosing those words. I wanted to make you understand how heavy it is. I would just look at myself in the mirror. I will call my full name. You will make it. You are coming out. You will come out. Your mess will become your message. Your mess will become your mandate. You will come out of this. And today, I have thousands of lives. She's one of them that I'm helping to heal. Counseling, therapy, just helping people. I found joy. And I told myself, I said, every torture I've received, every punishment that life has given to me, this is payback time. You are one of my trophies of payback time. Yes, let's round it off. I just want you to open your heart and advise some people that have probably worn your shoes, been in the situation that you find yourself, not only being gang raped, getting pregnant for 5 months without even knowing, your uncle that you're supposed to go and seek shelter from, mounting pressure on you to sleep with him for you to have safe delivery. After that, you still went back to stay there. Parents still dump you back in a toxic place, and you didn't have the courage and the guts to open up to tell anybody. Please, what is your candid advice for everyone that has been through or is being through? I don't pray somebody is going to. I don't pray it. But the point is, has been through, is going through a similar situation. What would you tell your world? I told you, I said your mess has become your message. What message do you have for your world? For children from less privileged home who wants to survive? I needed you to wrap it up by sharing with us your heart in this episode.
My own very advice is that for everyone out there that is going through what I've passed through, because it's my past now and I'm healing.
She said it's her past and she's healing. That should resonate. Go ahead.
So to everyone out there, no matter how stormy it is, just have faith in God. Be more prayerful. Because even during my own storm, I met with a lady who was also a victim of rape, but her own case is different from mine. She's not satisfied with one person. She has to,
Be sleeping around.
different guys. I was advising the lady that this is not right, even while I'm passing through mine. So if we see anyone out there that is going through this or has been a victim of rape, it is not an excuse for you to be a whore or to become a loose person. No. You can just make up your mind to just pick up the pieces and move on. There's no need to cry over spilled milk. It has happened. But just pick up.
You are speaking my language. That's my good students in therapy. Yes, emphasize therapy for them to know that there's a need. Imagine if she had kept it to herself. Do you know a lot of people are in the similar situation who had gone through molestation and rape because they did not voice it out, they did not seek help. That was the case of the person she was talking about, that she started sleeping around and she became a whore because she had no privilege of knowing that when you are wounded like this, you need to heal. You need to bring everything out. Can you imagine if she had bottled up? She can be refusing her husband's sex for the rest of her life. The man that came to her life, loving her wholeheartedly, and there's no consummation. Marriage is for sex, definitely. She would have lost her marriage. Continue with your story of healing. Continue.
So, my candid advice is just that you pick up the pieces and move on. And in this life, we are to face challenges. Even in the Bible, we are to face challenges. But the only thing is that we will overcome it. The lesson I learned from the story of my life is that when you are going through some stuff, just find someone you can talk to. Though those people I can talk to in my life, they are not really there, which is my mom and my uncle. Because my uncle, I didn't expect him to tell me he had to sleep with me for me to have safe delivery. No. So it really broke my trust in talking to people or confiding in people. But since I met mommy, no, it's a healing for me because whenever I'm troubled and I didn't speak it out, I will not be myself unless I say it. Even if there's no solution at that moment, I will say it just to free my mind. So the best thing is just that you just need someone to talk to. And she's a very wonderful therapist.
I'm blushing. I'm a very wonderful therapist.
She's a very wonderful therapist. And it's so nice to meet her. So that is just my advice. You don't have to carry your problem on your head. You don't have to carry it on your head. You just have to heal and move on. Life is beautiful. Life is amazing. But the face of life, the rugged ones, makes us to look like maybe we should just die, or maybe our parents should not have given birth to us. But the best part of it is that when we get to the smooth road of it, you realize that life is beautiful. So thank you
so much for opening your heart, for healing. She's really going through. I mean, I'm so amazed what I heard today compared to the last clips that you watched. I mean, the difference is clear, very clear. She has become a better version of herself. She's becoming her reality. She's evolving, and that is exactly what I've seen today. Once again, thank you so much for being vulnerable, opening your heart to the world, for people to know that help is always available and healing is possible. To everyone watching, thank you so much for staying tuned to this episode. Like, subscribe to this channel, share it with the world. People are dying in silence. People don't know who to talk to. The information on how to reach us is on the screen. Just make sure you connect with us. We are here to help you to heal. We mend lives. We heal wounds. We help people to come out and become a wounded healer. And this is an example. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another episode. Thank you.